What up, y'all? This is High Definition Pod. This podcast This is Maurice.
It's Rez.
And we are back for another episode. My brother,
Yo.
You just started back work.
I did. I did.
I did get to hit you up the other day, but
I did. So
how was the adjustment?
It was. I ain't learned nothing yet. This weekend was what I would consider shaking hands and kissing babies, where I'm just getting a feel for the people, surveying, doing a little recon, just looking at the processes and everything. So that's what I did this weekend. I didn't really touch nothing. Now, Sunday I did, but Friday and Saturday were light days because we've been slow. So we got off. I didn't leave till 7:30 Friday. Could have left at about 5:30. My whole department go, but I went back up to my old department and see if they need anything help with anything like that. Saturday, I got home at 6. So,
oh wow,
yeah, we were done.
Yeah, y'all are really slow then.
Yeah, we're really slow. We were done by 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. So I left out the building about 5:45. Got home 6 o'clock. And then yesterday, I didn't get home until about 9. Because my department got off at 5:30. We finished. I let all my associates go. Going through some reports. One of my flow manager was like, "You guys have some ecom non-con that didn't get done." I was like, "Oh crap!" But lucky me, working in residual before, I know how to do all that process. So I went over there, knocked that out, got that in the shipping, got rid of it, and then went home. So, but other than that though, pretty easy weekend. I can't say how it's gonna be this weekend. Hopefully a little more of the same. That way I can just kind of ease into this one. This weekend I'm gonna be hands on as far as like the computer stuff goes. I'm gonna be hands on with it. So, but that's how my weekend went. How was yours?
Straight chill mode. Birthday was Friday.
Yes, your birthday was Friday, man.
My daughter started basketball training. Took her there.
Okay.
Grocery shopping Saturday.
Okay.
And chilled the rest of the weekend.
She gonna try to play at middle school?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put this in the atmosphere, okay? I think their coach is getting ready to quit. Oh, my bad. That's Anyway.
Should have waited.
Anyway. You got a whole basketball coach that's the ISS coordinator now.
I mean,
hey, it's coming.
We'll talk small after the mic.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm putting it in the air, dog.
I'm
putting it in the air, dog. I'm all for it. I told her, go for it. End up at the high school next. Hey.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad at that. But yeah, and literally Sunday. Bro, I didn't even step in the garage.
The boy didn't leave the house.
I didn't even open the door to the garage. And we did online church, and then I came right downstairs and watched football
all day.
The rest of the day. That's all I did.
Ain't mad at you, man. Ain't mad at you.
But hey, y'all know what it's about. It's all about the conversation. This is actually going to be an exclusive bonus episode. This is going to be an actual bonus episode. The last one.
Was supposed to be a bonus episode.
We said it was gonna be bonus, but we kind of backtracked and made that part 3 of the conversation, which is still ongoing. But this one is only exclusively going on YouTube, and we'll probably drop it on the audio podcast too. But the video will be exclusively only on YouTube. We're all about the conversation. We just want to offer perspective. In everything we do, we always try to come from a biblical perspective. We're gonna tie the Bible in some way, form, or fashion.
Definitely.
This episode today. Oh, if you agree, fine. If you disagree, fine. Just don't disrespect. Y'all let us know.
Fact.
We want to know what you think about what we think. So hit us up in our inbox. All of our social medias are in our link tree. You can we'll plug that somewhere.
Don't mind my face right there. I was taking a selfie.
I think we all knew what. So maybe I'll edit that part. Nah, I'm gonna leave it in there.
I forgot we were recording that quick.
I'm gonna leave it in there.
No, leave it in there. Leave it in there. I definitely forgot we were recording.
Yeah. So that's what we.
I had a moment.
This mug right here.
I had a moment. I'm sorry.
So listen, the conversation on this particular episode, before it kind of gets memory hold, so to speak. Oh, Lord have mercy. We kind of want to dig into the Dave Chappelle.
Oh yes.
All right. If you haven't watched this, it's special.
The Closer.
Yeah. If you don't have Netflix, hit up somebody that does.
How many specials did he have? Was it like 4 or 5?
Yes, somewhere around there.
Okay. This was the last one.
Yeah. This one has really caused a stir. But I think it's a good thing because it's getting conversation going.
Yes.
So right off the top, if you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend you see it. And another thing, watch it all the way through.
All the way through.
Don't listen to what anybody else has said until you've watched it and you've gathered your own thoughts.
All the way through.
I'm telling you that from the jump. Okay. What's your initial thoughts on the special? We ain't gonna go into it yet, but just did you like it? Did you not like it?
Okay, so my attention span has been like really off.
You have a newborn and you have a 3-year-old.
No, I was at home alone when I watched
Once again, you have a newborn and you have a 3-year-old.
This is true. So, like, I literally was watching it, but I was doing other things as I was watching it. So, like, I might have been folding clothes. I might have, like, walked away to make a sandwich or something and was just, like, listening to it.
Turkey or ham?
It was pepperoni and pastrami.
You can have it.
Yeah. It's weird, but it was good.
You like it? I love it.
It's all above me. But yeah, like he made some valid points. And I was like, I mean, you can't dispute that. If you do dispute it, it's because you let your feelings
outweigh your logic.
There you go. And we see a lot of that going on nowadays.
Whole lot.
Yeah, defy logic. Defy logic. Logic is logic.
Oh boy. Maury, stay on topic. Okay. my initial thoughts was it's the same thing as yours. After me watching, I was like, how can you? Now, granted, just like with our conversations here, I mean, you're gonna have people that's gonna agree, you're gonna have those that disagree.
And that's fine.
That's fine. Either way. However, I think once you watch the whole thing, we'll get ready to kind of unpack it a little bit and just kind of give our take on it, and then we're gonna shift it as to why we want to have this conversation, and we'll probably intertwine it and throughout the conversation anyway. But I believe he opened up the door for several conversations that need to be happening. And that's probably one of the reasons I like it. And
happening where, though?
I think on several fronts.
With who? By who? Who needs to start the conversation? Well, who needs to be?
Okay, so for those that don't know, in this particular special, he addressed the LGBTQIA. Yeah.
Just say plus.
Yeah.
You got to add the rest and say LGBT.
I'm sorry if all them letters. I tried the LGBTQ plus that community.
Yes.
Okay. He addressed a lot of his former statements that he's made. Tried to bring some clarity, which I felt like he did.
He did.
I really felt like he did. So that's the population he was really trying to talk to. And that conversation has to happen. It has to happen between that community and Black America. That has to happen between that community and the church, most definitely. It needs to happen with everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. Even among those of us who are heterosexual who may have a particular view towards that community, to where you want to, don't let me just say you. Well, maybe I do. Yeah. To where you want to be disrespectful or dehumanize.
Yeah, because there are people who literally just,
If you got blood running through your body, you have the right to be treated fair as a human.
that's facts.
Okay, just because someone makes a decision to go through that type of change, hey, I'm not here to judge you on that. Whether I agree with it or not, that's your decision. You're grown.
Facts.
Okay, to not dig so much. Now, when you try to force it on little kids or try to push them,
Yeah, that's a problem.
That's when we're gonna probably have a problem.
Let kids be kids.
Yes,
Let
but
kids be kids.
if you're grown, you want to make that decision, by all means, fine, and we'll leave it at that. Now, with the whole with what Dave was saying, the things he was trying to address, I really felt like he did it his own way. And one of the issues I have with a lot of people, they don't like what Dave said because he came at the LGBTQ plus community, and they don't like his realness and his rawness. Number one issue I have with that, Dave been doing this his whole career.
They don't care. They don't care. They don't care.
Dave does not care what you have to say.
They don't care.
To those of you that's extra safe, I'm not gonna say the word, but pretty much Dave said "F you." That's basically what he said. He gonna do what he do.
Yeah.
Okay. So, number one, he been doing this his whole career.
Dog.
What y'all got to say does not affect him.
Whole career.
Okay. Here's the thing. Number one, when in our society did we stop being so passive? Or when, shall I say, when do we start being so passive to the point? Well, when we speak the truth, we stand on the truth. I think Dave, he spoke truth. He's standing firm on it. And he ain't budging whatsoever. In society as a whole, we have come away from that.
Yes, we have.
That's one of the things that I saw from this special. This man, I mean, the way he articulated some of his things, his stuff too. He went from he gave definition, especially I like the part too. I never even thought to look up the definition of the word feminist.
Yeah.
When he did that, in fact, I meant to go and I'm a fact check Dave. I meant to do it before we even got on here. Because he Googled it for a feminist.
An advocate of women's rights on the basis of equality of the sexes, a person who supports feminism.
And according to Merriam-Webster, feminism is the belief in and advocacy of the political, economic, and social equality of the sexes, expressed especially through organized activity on behalf of women's rights and interests.
Yeah.
So basically, to see a woman advance, have economic growth, have social growth, to be equal on all fronts.
I believe we can all agree on that.
So technically, if I believe that, which I do, I would be considered a feminist.
Yeah, you would. Because, women should be able to advance in society the way men have.
In the original, before
they should have that same opportunities.
Before man fell, man and woman, equal. God created them equal.
Yeah, that's why he took the rib.
So, back to my question. Why is it, or how did we get to the point where we're so passive that we don't stand in our own truth or we don't stand in truth and stand firm in it no matter what people say.
How did we get passive?
I think I have an idea why.
Talk to me.
So I was just telling you before we start recording. So once again, I'm flipping through. I think I'm going to go ahead and just subscribe because in some people's mind, Jason Whitlock has lost his black card.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that.
He's lost his, but the man's been black all his life.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how you, yeah, see, I got man, you know what?
You got a hot take. You know what?
No, I don't have a hot take on that, but what kind of grinds my gears about stuff like that, you know, we oftentimes consider blackness.
Everybody believing the same thing, thinking the same way,
Right.
doing the same. No.
I was born, the man was born black, he gonna die black.
I think he said when I listened to it that he's like 54 years old. So for 54 years, this man been black.
He been black.
Ain't nothing changed.
It doesn't change.
Came from black.
Just because his ideologies
Or
and
his
how
views.
he views are different than.
And you know what? One thing I actually do like about Jason, he is very open about the fact. He said, "Look, I'm a sinner."
Mm-hmm.
He said, "I done sinned.
We all
I
have.
enjoyed going to the strip club."
Oh wow!
He said, "I made my money."
Yeah.
He said, "I was a player." I ain't front. He said, "I'm not hiding none of that."
He looked like he was the type of dude back in the day.
He said, "I was in the strip club." He said that was his thing. He said, "I'm a glutton. As you can see, I'm fat."
Big dude. He a big dude. Yeah.
I mean, he is very open about his weaknesses, his failures. He's very open about that. But the simple fact that he doesn't come in line with the black mindset.
Well,
We've
I think we're not gonna unpack that, but I think that's a conversation that needs to be had. Was like, what is the black mindset? What is the black mindset? Like, is it a set? Is it a set of values that all black people should be in line with? Okay,
I think we do need to unpack that one day.
one day. Not today.
It won't be
today.
Okay, but okay. So I was watching. They did a whole show just on the Dave Chappelle special, and one of the things he said, like one of his part of his open monologue, when he said that, I was like, you know what? He has a good point. So he said there are two groups of people have let America down, and this is why America is in the shape it's in. He said, "It's my contention that ministers and comedians have let us down over the last decade." He said, "Ministers and comedians have been authorized to speak uncomfortable truth." He said, "Ministers have gone woke, and comedians are afraid of being canceled." The truth, he said, "the truth has been in a regression out of fear because social media has so much control over American discourse. And so, from the pulpit, we don't get an unvarnished truth. We get a compromised gospel."
And that is so true.
He said, "We get a gospel that lives in fear." Then he said, from the comedic stage, everybody has the same punchline. Right now, it's either Trump or nothing else. He said, "We need variety."
That's true.
When he said this, I said, you know what? He made a great point. He made several points.
Several.
Because here's my thing with what I saw, like I said earlier, with the whole Dave Chappelle, with this, I'm telling y'all, go watch it. I'm for real. You need to watch it, especially watch it all the way to the end.
And then go back and watch Sticks and Stones.
That's the one I got.
I gotta watch that one.
I fell asleep on it.
Yeah, I think I started watching. I went and watched like 5 minutes of it, and then turned it off. Whatever.
But let me say it like this. In my whole lifetime, comedians have, what I've noticed and seen, they have a way of speaking truth, but they know how to cloak it in humor.
Yes. Because Bernie Mac was on point. And oh God.
Him, Paul Mooney.
Look, oh my, may he rest.
Paul Mooney was, he was cutthroat, but he told you so much truth, but it was funny.
Look, Richard Pryor.
Even Eddie Murphy before he went family friendly.
Yeah.
Because Raw and Delirious, bruh. Okay. I feel like I think it's Elder Mark Moore when the whole John Gruden thing went down.
Ah, yes.
He wrote a whole status, and I'm paraphrasing what he said. He was like, "Hail to Prophet Chappelle." He said, because what Dave Chappelle was just saying in his special is what's going on with John Gruden.
It's true.
He said when his emails had racist comments in it, nothing happened. But as soon as he
mentioned the LGBTQ plus community,
fired. Excuse me.
Mutually parted ways.
Mutually parted ways. Yes.
Mutually parted ways.
Okay. Why do we say that?
They backed that man. They backed Mark Davis into a corner.
Exactly. But why do we say that though? Because one thing Dave Chappelle pointed out in his special, which I had forgot about until I heard him say it. He talked about the baby.
Oh yeah, the baby. Yeah, I shot the man.
Shot and killed the man
in the Walmart in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Still rapping. But about a month or two ago,
when he was up on Lollapalooza, it wasn't Lollapalooza. It was Rolling Loud. It was a Rolling Loud.
When he made his statements about the LGBTQ plus community,
and if you haven't heard those, just go back and read it.
All kind of backlash he got.
Oh, it was hellfire and brimstone came after him. Oh no, we're not gonna cancel him for killing the man.
But Dave, as a comedian, stood up, brought that to light.
He pointed out the hypocrisy.
And he was able to veil it in humor.
Yes.
But it still gave us truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what Jason said, the reason we are in the situation we're in today is because comedians, they're afraid of getting canceled. Mm-hmm. Dave basically got, like they said on the talk show I was watching, he got the FU money. He gonna get up there and say what he want.
Twitter is not a real place.
And those of us in the church, it's not just ministers. If we say we are believers and we represent Christ, then we're supposed to be standing and speaking truth, no matter who or what the situation is about.
Biblical truth.
Exactly.
We're gonna call it that because some people don't believe biblical truth. So what they believe as truth is different than us. So we're gonna clarify that. Biblical truth. If you're a Christian, you believe biblical truth, you stand on that. It's truth to us who believe it, but for those who don't, it's not. It's fallacy. It's fictitious.
So Dave made a statement. He said, and this might get us in trouble. Mm-hmm. He said, gender is a fact. He stated, every person born on this earth had to pass through the legs of a woman. That's a truth, and that's a biblical truth.
It is.
Might I suggest?
Because I don't know a person with a penis that's ever had a child.
I don't know one that's got one that won't have.
I'm just saying. I don't know nobody that's got a penis that has had a birth.
Bro, can you imagine?
Oh no!
I can't even imagine trying to push a 9-pound baby.
I've never had a kidney stone before.
Don't want one.
But the stories I have heard, they have brought men to their knees. My dad was in the hospital for 2 days with a kidney, trying to pass a kidney stone. This was a long time ago.
Bruh.
2 days trying to pass a kidney stone.
Listen.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way. I'm about to push a bait. Anything. No. And that's the size of a pea.
To our wives, to all you women out there.
I commend y'all. We love y'all. More power to you. Because that's not our God given. That is not our God given curse.
That's not.
We are to work for the sweat of our brow.
I commend y'all. I honor y'all. I listen. You won't hear no type of disrespect from me coming. No,
At all.
Sorry.
Any woman who has pushed the baby out?
If you carry the baby,
Yes. If you have carried a child,
all honor, love, and respect goes to you.
nothing but the most respect.
Okay.
But I mean, because literally, if you do your research, I'm just getting off topic for a second, but if you do your research on that, the amount of pressure that is created to push a child through 10 centimeters, I'm talking, the amount of pressure should crush them. Literally, the pounds per square inch, if you do the research, is enough pressure to crush a person.
And y'all still moving, kicking, and being beautiful.
Up walking and up what hours after you done had a baby?
Listen, y'all, I love y'all.
We get kicked in the nads, we are down. We are down for the count.
If you even act like you about to hit me down there, you gonna see me jump. What you doing? Whoa!
What you doing? It's facts. It's facts, man.
But he made that statement. Mm-hmm. That's truth, and it's also a biblical truth.
It is.
So might I suggest also, even those who don't believe as we do, they can still speak a biblical truth. Even they may not, because I'm also of the belief that biblical principles can be understood and lived and spoken whether you believe them or not.
Yes. I mean, it's God gives us all gifts, right? Every person has a gift.
Yep.
And he don't repent for giving you that gift. Whether or not you give it back to him or not, that's up to you.
Because those principles, they work regardless.
They do.
Look at all the people who are not saved, got millions and billions of dollars. They give, and give.
They do.
They keep reaping and reaping.
And LL Cool J came out and said one of the biggest things that he feels that why he's able to, have the notoriety that he has is by tithing.
I've heard him say that too.
I've heard him say it. I mean, I've heard a lot. I mean, they might not call it tithing, but they give a set of money to something. It could be a charity. It could be whatever.
They believe in the principle of giving because they know when you give, it's gonna come back to you.
That's facts.
Like my boy, I watch Mike Rashid, my fitness guy.
Yeah, man.
He gives like it's nothing, and that man is blessed. I'm gonna give it to him. From my understanding, he's not saved like we are. He has some knowledge of it, but he doesn't. He's not. From my understanding, I could be wrong. Mike, you watching this? Please watch this. I
love your protein powder, brother.
Yes, banana maple French toast.
It's pretty good stuff.
But yeah, so I mean, the principles they work regardless.
They do.
Okay, so going back to today's special though, he stated a truth.
He did,
and that truth is also a biblical truth. Okay, and he made a lot of people upset about that, but you can't deny that,
right? Because a lot of people think that. Well, there are people in that community that feel that gender is fluid; it can change,
or that it is a social construct.
Yeah, they do believe that.
So, but going back to also what Jason said too, he said, the reason America is the way it is now is because ministers, which I will also lump the church as a whole into that. So I'm gonna say it like this: the church and the comedians are one of the reasons why America is the way it is now.
Yeah, I mean, let's look about it. There are churches that don't want to speak out against it.
Why do you think we don't? Do you
don't?
Do you think it's because of the backlash?
Yeah, it could be that. I mean, I'll put it like this: when you throw the word Christian into anything, the temperature goes up.
Mm-hmm.
Dave is Dave. Dave is Dave. Thermostat 76. Throw a Christian into that 101. It's hot. What's the boiling point of water?
Bro, I don't know.
Anyway. Let's just put it like that. Yeah, the temperature is up. And, there's something about that when you throw Christian into a situation or anything like that, it always gets amplified.
Oh, yeah.
So, they're going hard after Dave. Yeah. Let that be a pastor say that? Oh, they're outside protesting. I'm telling you, they might even egg your church.
It depends. At this day and age,
Mm-hmm.
I think it depends on if that pastor has a history of actually speaking truth. Because Jason made another statement. He said, and like I said, he said ministers, but I'm going to say the church.
Mm-hmm.
He said the church has gone woke,
Mm-hmm.
and comedians are afraid of being canceled. Now, most time we hear woke now. There's like people, I guess they're talking about like being more into like social justice and things of that nature, trying to make sure you ain't racist and stuff like that. But us as the church, if we are abiding by the Bible,
God's for justice.
He's for justice
Across the board.
no matter who. Justice is justice, whether you white, black, Latino, whatever. Right is right, wrong is wrong. Point blank, period. That's the way the church should be at.
All right.
But it's not every church. It's not every church.
All right, we can't generalize like that.
No, but
It's a good bit of them.
it's quite a bit.
It's a good bit. And we've shared some stuff. Some videos and whatnot. We've shared stuff.
Oh Lord, I'm not going.
Yeah. And I was like, wait a what?
Some stuff that's being said now is borderline heresy.
But you know what's wild? We saw that coming because you shared something with me a while back about some type of doctrine that was going to be spewed.
Where we done shared so much stuff.
I'll show it to you.
Yeah,
I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you when I find it. But yeah, it's like some of the doctrine that we're hearing does not line up with the Bible.
Mm-hmm. Doctrine of devils. That's in the Bible.
And that ain't the gospel. Now, I'm not saying that you are. Look, I understand. Like, look, we all like Dave said, we all have a human experience.
Oh, that was such a great point that he made.
We all have our proclivities. We all go through things in life. Some are similar to others. Some aren't.
Mm-hmm.
It's grace. Grant grace. The same grace that you want from God, we should give to others.
Facts.
And you can verbalize your disapproval of a particular lifestyle without spewing hate. Now, here's my thing. Hate nowadays is seen as you not accepting who or what a person is.
Yep.
That ain't hate. That's not hate. Hate is me trying to go out of my way to make sure that you can advance in society as a human being. Which means I'm going to do everything in my power to see that you fail, is to see that I'm just going to classify you scum of the earth.
So how many of us as black people are doing that to each other? Based on that definition?
Yeah. Because I ain't gotta agree. Everything that, Jason Whitlock says, I don't agree with.
Mm-mm.
That's what most of everything people say I don't agree with.
I'm pretty sure, bro, in many of our conversations.
We've had difference.
You know what I'm
Differences in
saying?
opinion.
I know for a fact. I said stuff you didn't agree with. You said stuff I didn't agree with.
Exactly.
But we not sitting here. We ain't sitting here going, about to go to blows with each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you keep listening to somebody long enough, you're gonna hear something that you're not gonna agree with. I would even make I'm probably pushing the line by saying this. Y'all know me, I love my pastor.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty sure if I think back over the years, it's probably something he said. I'll be like, Pop, hold on. I don't know if I agree with that one. And he's never looked at me wrong for saying that. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure I probably had me and him have had a conversation about it. And he's explained to me or said why he said what he said. I'm like, okay. Right. Even though I still might.
And he stands on that.
Yeah, I know I've said stuff he didn't agree with, but me and him, we've been able to talk.
And that's how we have to maneuver through life is, look, if I have a disagreement with you, you have a disagreement with me, let's sit and talk about it. We at the end of the conversation, we may not agree, but guess what? Hey, okay. Bygones be bygones.
Yeah.
You go your way, I'm gonna go my way.
But in today's culture too,
it's a submission type thing. We want people to submit to our way of living without challenge. Christians are the same way.
Yep.
We are the same way.
Yep.
There is no grace in that whatsoever. There's no grace in that. When you act like that, you turn people off from the gospel. You turn people off from the gospel.
Oh, you mean that thing?
Yeah, I mean it. Let people look, because I deal with this. Like, you gotta understand that God gave us free will to move about this earth the way we want to. He may not agree with it, but he allows it. Yep. It is like being a parent. All right. I have children. They are under my guideship right now, right? Mm-hmm. When my children get of age, I'm going to tell them things. I'm going to say, no, you should not do that. Don't do this. Don't do that. At the end of the day, it's their decision. I might not agree with it, but if they do it, they do it. I ain't got to accept it, but they got to live with it. The same way God is. God will allow us to do things he will not agree with.
Yep.
But guess what? He has given us the free will to do it. And we got to understand that. Understand that.
Beautiful statement.
Well, that's how it's got to be. That's how you operate. That's how you maneuver through life. Like, allow people to be them. Look, you can preach the gospel. And you can mean what you say. If I say I believe this, I'm gonna give you the gospel in a loving manner. Now, some of what I say you may feel, depending on how you are, who you are, they may feel as hate speech. People feel the gospel is hate speech.
The truth is gonna offend you. I think that's really what the problem is. A lot of people, you don't want to hear the truth. Because deep down, I don't know if I have Bible for this, but I believe deep down there is a part of man that knows when you hear the truth. And you're like, okay, there's nothing I can say against this.
If God is truth and God created us in his image and imparted in us, truth is in us. I believe that. How we're raised and the things that we've learned throughout our lives might push down on that to kind of, I want to say water it down. Mm-hmm. Because as we learn more things in life, we think, oh, well, this makes more sense. It's truth. This is truth. This is truth. This is truth. But there's a part of us that's gonna go,
it's off.
Something's off. But sometimes even with as Christians, we the Holy Spirit to tell. I'm not gonna call it conscious. The Holy Spirit to say, don't do that, don't do that. We'd be like, man, you know what? That's something ain't right about this. But I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyway.
What's on Facebook right now? The red
Oh,
flags.
the red flags. Red flags.
The red flags.
The
red flags come up.
Don't do it. But I believe that, when God created us, since He created us in His image and likeness, because there is a piece of God in us, and whether we pursue it or not is up to us.
Yeah,
but it's always there.
Always.
It's like whatever you feed grows. So there's a piece of God in our heart, but as we put things that are outside of God, he shrinks. He's still there. It's just there's other things that are just kind of cluttering his voice.
Mm-hmm.
He's still there, but it's all this other stuff that's muddled. That's like white noise. It's kind of muttering out what he's saying. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, I always think of it too. Like, you ever seen like people that like try to push down on like a spring, but eventually all that tension is going.
Yeah,
I feel like eventually that's what. And a part of me feels like that's what's going on now, even in society. Is why we bring it up like Dave, what Dave is doing. Might I also mention the fact too, Netflix is not going to cancel him.
Good job, Netflix.
So, but just think about how everything's going on today. We try, you get canceled if you say certain things. Certain information is trying to be suppressed where you can't find stuff out. You got people that's out here speaking certain things that's just going against the narrative. They're being what they call shadow banned. Some of them are being.
But my thing, and then you'll see the little banner come up. This is to protect people from misinformation. So my thing about that is when you censor those voices, classifying as misinformation, you're not allowing people to make a judgment call for themselves.
Exactly.
It's like, where do you? I was about to say, where you get off? We're doing that, but I said it. There it is. But my thing also is when you do that, you're not allowing me to think critically. You're not allowing me to seek out.
A free thinker / critical thinker is the number one enemy of the narrative today.
That's facts. That is a fact. That is a fact.
That's why some of y'all don't like Dave Chappelle.
That's a fact.
I heard Dr. Boyce Watkins. He said something quite interesting. He had a picture up on his IG of
Watkins. Okay.
Of Dave and Kanye. He said this is what a lot of people fear.
The free thinker.
Two articulate
black men
that were also raised by college educated parents.
That's dangerous, dog. That's dangerous. That's why, you know what? I'm not going there. I'm not gonna go there.
We need to have that conversation too.
Educated black man is dangerous black man.
And not, I'm not against being college educated, but just the simple fact, if you
education in general,
if you can. The basic R's, reading. Well, it ain't the R's, but you know what Grandma used to say. Them 3 R's are reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Arithmetic. That's a fact.
But I mean, if you can read, go out here and read for yourself. You can understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna say who it was, but a particular person. Me and it was going back and forth about. I can't say that V word. The jab, the shot. We was going back and forth about this, and I gave them some facts from medical studies, and all because it was linked through a website that was deemed misinformation. She like totally blew it off. All it was, the person had a aggregate site where they just put all of the sources to medical studies on one page. I sent that to her. She said, sorry, I put this in Google and it came up as being misinformation. I'm sitting here like, okay. Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle. Misinformation.
Some of our own people don't like it when we think for ourselves. Thomas Sowell, he said something. I'm paraphrasing it. He said, I don't understand how we as black people, we say we want our people to be in all spheres of society, all spheres of life. We want them to be everywhere. We want representation everywhere. But you get upset when you also see black people who are on the other side of the conversation that you are. He was talking about as far as liberals versus conservatives. He said, why y'all getting mad when you actually see black people that's conservative as well? They just thinking for themselves.
Yeah.
And y'all don't like that.
That's true.
I'm just paraphrasing what he was saying. That's not verbatim.
Yeah.
I'm not saying those of us black people.
I don't get that. Like,
I'm not saying those of us that are black people who are conservative are right. I'm not saying that they're wrong. I'm not saying those of us that are liberal are right or wrong. But we should all be accepting of each other in the fact that we can think for ourselves. You know what? And this is also going back to what Dave was saying too. What could really solve a lot of our problems today? When you see somebody that has a difference of opinion from you, they have a different thought or perspective. Don't go talk about them. Go up to them, ask them a question like, "Hey, I noticed you said this, or you mentioned this on a post, or you said this in a conversation the other day. Why did you say that? What brought you to that particular outcome or that particular thought?" And then if you spark the conversation like that, it might teach you something, or it might open up a door for you. Like, oh, you know what? I didn't think about it like this. Instead of you wanting to just say, oh, they think like this. He a black Republican. He a conservative. He said this about the LGBT, so that mean he a homophobic. No, I about to call you something. No, they just asked them a question. How did you come to this?
That's true.
We don't do that.
I always use the analogy that the answer is 6. I'm going to start there. The answer is 6. How I get to that answer might be different than how you get to that answer. I say 2 times 3 is 6. You might say 2 plus 4 is 6.
5 plus 1.
6.
6 minus 0.
6.
6 times 1.
6. Get to an understanding. You might not agree, but understand. A lot of us need to do that instead of seeing somebody who thinks different than us, go running off and talking about them. Why do you think this way? Oh, I see your viewpoint, even though I might not agree with it, but it is your right to think that way.
You know what was another reason we are the way we are now?
Because social media.
We hide behind this. But when we have this right here,
got nothing to say.
Oh, you also.
Oh, you got to get the gab on Facebook, but when you in front of people, you can't say squat. Okay.
Especially when you run up on somebody that if you pop off at them the wrong way, no matter how they feel, they can throw them hands. So a lot of us.
Social media is not a real place.
You want to know how we know it ain't real? Because you probably took about 40 selfies before you posted that one that you posted. Put the one on there where you got the teeth out. Put all that out there.
Because you can go back and edit, and you can go back and add filters. But guess what? You can't filter life. You can't filter real life.
So I mean, in this whole conversation, I respect
Dave.
I respect Dave for what he did. I'm telling y'all, you need to go and watch this. Mm-hmm. And one of the things I was gonna say too, I did mention it, but I hope that if there's some other comedians that you end up seeing this, whether it's you watch the replay years down the road, do what you've been graced to do. Give the people truth, but you know how to give it in a funny way. And I also feel like those of us in the church. A couple years ago, Pop he was doing a teaching on like the kingdom of God. He's really starting to open it up to us. And it was some heavy truth. I mean, heavy. Like he was dismantling a lot of stuff that I had learned in the past. And I was like, oh, wait, hold up. And I mean, he was breaking it down scripture by scripture. I mean, he's really taking us through and he really unpacked a lot. But during that time too, when he was giving us that truth and he was dismantling a lot, one of the ways it really helped for us to stick, because when you give like a heavy truth, he veiled a lot of it in humor, just like a comedian would.
Yeah.
And I noticed when he did that too, it kind of helped it to stick with us a lot longer. And still to this day, it's still sticking.
Yeah.
So I think comedians, even those who are preachers who have that, they got that sense of humor like that, it's a gift from God. It's in 1 Corinthians 12, where it's talking about the gifts of the Spirit. One of them is the gifts of healing. It didn't say gift of healing. It said gifts.
But we also say that laughter is medicine.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because Dr. Stevenson, he helped me look at it. I didn't think about it. He's like, laughter he's like comedians, they are gifted with one of the gifts of healing.
And they bring joy. Joy, yes, healing. Yeah. Through laughter.
So we need truth, but maybe we also need truth to come in the form of that healing of laughter. Mm-hmm. And that's what America needs. Because the way Dave did this was beautifully executed.
It's brilliant. It really was.
It really was. I encourage everybody to go watch it.
I feel bad if you can't see that. I saw he noted that empathy. Empathy is not exclusive to one community.
The way he said is empathy is bisexual. It goes both ways.
Both ways.
I wouldn't even thought to say it like that. But when he said it like that, I said, you know what? That makes perfect sense.
I was like, hey, that made sense, man.
That made perfect sense. He said empathy goes both ways.
It does. The two ways.
We in the church, we can't be so dogmatic that we can't look at those, whether they've accepted Jesus or not.
Because you have to. This is the thing. We forget what we have been through in our own personal lives.
Some of y'all was drunk.
Some of y'all was hoes.
You was a hoe.
Look, some of y'all was,
straight hoeing.
Straight up. Like,
and if we really tell the truth, is we still doing it.
Look, I'm just saying.
And then getting up on the praise team Sunday.
Ooh, we've all been through some stuff, man. Understand? That's why grace is such a beautiful thing. Because we all have something.
Everybody.
We all have something.
Everybody.
If you're a Christian and you feel that you are above every other person, you have missed the point of the gospel.
You really have
missed it.
You really have.
I've said that before. You've missed it. If you think that because you worship Jesus Christ, God the Father, that you are better than anyone else, you have missed it. Why? God came down here to live the human experience. He overcame everything that we go through. He didn't give in. He didn't sin. That was his human. That's why he came down to understand the human condition and show us that we can overcome it. I've been through some stuff, man. I'm not the type of person that's gonna. I've been that person before, but I'm not where I am right now. I have no ill words towards anyone because I stand in front of the mirror every day and I am faced with who I am as a person. My struggles. You know what I'm saying? I might not, some of the struggles that I've struggled with, I still might have the taste for some of that stuff.
Yep.
I mean, I give into it. But knowing that I'm faced with whatever it is knowing that we're faced with whatever we've struggled with and been delivered from, that's what keeps me going to the foot of the cross.
Facts.
That's what keeps me going to the foot of the cross. And a lot of times we need to tell people what we've been through, who we once were, and how Christ has delivered us from that and showed us there's a better way.
Yep. And on the flip side, for those who, if you're not of the Christian faith, if you've made that decision, if you're part of the LGBTQ plus community, one thing Dave said too, don't punch down on us either. We may believe different, but we are also having a human experience as well.
Fact.
The golden rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Love your neighbor as you would love yourself.
Let's just have a conversation.
That's all. We ain't gotta agree, but guess what? We can have respect at the end of the day.
That's it. This is another episode of the High Definition Podcast. This is Maurice.
I'm Therese.
And y'all remember to live life
from the highest definition.
We'll catch y'all in the next one.